realistically speaking, who has a good day all day, every day? That's impossible. That's not realistic. That's fake. Having me a smoothie right now. What I got, I forgot the banana. I mean my potassium. I got papaya, kale, chia seed, orange juice, honey, pineapple, blueberries. For the most part, health. Health. What's the point of cleansing and detoxifying your body if you're going to always put junk back in it? At least give yourself a fighting chance, right? I'm just going to get this table clear, so I figured I will record. See, I have written this ever since September 19th. And though yesterday I did a reading from the September 23rd aspect of it, today is October 25th, 2025. We almost into November. Happy Scorpio seasons. Big up happy born days to all my Scorpionic people. So, you know, I'm just looking, yeah. That's Smokey Sue playing in the background. That's my kitten. Let's see. Hold on. Let me go light my Palo Santo. Let me light it from the other end. Nothing is in vain. Nothing is wasted. To get a little charcoal on my fingers. Okay. Let's cleanse that energy so we come in correctly. Thank you for my new subscribers. Welcome in, guys. Thank you for your subscribes. My new OGs. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe, of course. And my returning OG day one, as I'm grateful you guys come through all day, every day. I love you guys. Hi, my original OG subscribers. Oh, crew. This is All Sevens Tarot. I am Timiko, and I'm Mystically Miko, here to bring you divine messages from beyond the veil, channeled through me by the Most High. Right? All evil eye, negative energies are gonna fall away and go blind, and all monitoring spirits will go deaf, and that energy will be transmuted for the sake of the light barrier for the highest space good for all. So gratitude, big up to the ancestors, archangels, spirit guide, divine team, all of the beautiful components, you know, the Galactic Federation, our intergalactic beings, and our multidimensional beings. Thank you so much for being here to bring it all together. Big up to them, right? They like, yeah, thank you for the big up, thank you for the acknowledgement. Because we're not going to sit here and act like we got all the answers and we know what we been taught is true, because we realize everything is falling apart. So if I'm here to be authentic with you and let you know what's coming through me, I'm going to give it to you where it's coming to me from. Because if I could explain it in one word, I couldn't if I tried. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. Confirmation. Somebody didn't invest into their divinity, or somebody that don't invest into their divine self. There's a community of people. I just picked it up to move it. I'm like, well, what's this sticking out? Let me pull it off the bottom and see. So these people who have no connection to the divine is on the path of destruction. They will never understand. And they bring it upon themselves because they think they know better than what was already written. We in repetitive cycles in this matrix of life and love. They so destructive, they won't receive the messages because they don't open their heart. They don't clear their eyes. They don't clear the hatred. They don't work on their spirit. They don't uplift themselves. They don't believe in divinity. Spider. Growth, mastery, and creativity and divinity. They don't even try. They want rebirth. They have desires, but they can't surpass their temptations, which keeps them from being focused on divinity. There's a community of people that way. We're not judging. Queen of Swords. Oh. Queen of Swords is an earth angel. Empath is about to be put in authority of what's being said in reference to these people. These people that's not waking up. She's here to lead the sheepfold. Somebody in the collective is here to lead. Ain't even about no money. Try to, help them stop focusing on the material, always expecting money, and focus on the spirit, because you can't take none of this shit with you, whether you believe it or not. The Holy Spirit said that's the truth. We can't take none of it with us. What are you fighting for? You fighting to keep something that's not yours. Everything turns back to ashes, dust to dust, even including the human flesh. Are you kidding me? You go back to the worms. The truth is they're not going to have no new opportunities. They won't be able to receive the messages. They'll be too busy dealing with ailments and illnesses and things like that. Because they're too busy in the social way. They too busy trying to recover from the inebriations and the poor thinking. Like, either you got to be all good or you got to be all bad, and good is bad. And if you good, then you shouldn't be bad. And like, if you bad while you good, then you're not really good. Like, nah, it's bigger than that. Immature woman. What about her? Seven of Swords, being exposed. This mature woman, this auntie, grandmama, wife, mama, somebody elder is exposed. She caused a path of destruction for a community. Ain't nobody getting no money. Ain't none of them invest in divinity. And they all try to come for a Queen of Swords who was over here trying to wake them up while they were sleeping by bringing them truth. And what they did, they turned their back to her. They said, absolutely not. We don't want to hear you. That's corny. We don't want to wear skirts every day. I remember I used to say, I don't want to be a Christian. I don't want to wear skirts every day. Muslim, I don't want to have to wear dresses every day. I don't like dresses because the dresses give me a duck butt. Stupid ass shit. You don't just talk to God. Talk to God, GodGoddess Source Energy. So let's get this off the table. These non-divine team players that's trying to walk in the duality of the different mindsets that they have amongst themselves from their experiences that they've learned in life. I know what you've done last summer. So they could be a healer of peace, or they could be chaotic in their own lives. Knowing what they learned from the past, they should be able to move in a way that keeps them powered up. Excuse me, but they losing momentum. They losing power. And people show you who they are. Believe them more than what they tell you they are. Okay, collective. So you were hanging around a group of people who didn't respect that you was an earth angel empath. And through your attachment to the divine, you were trying to express to them how they could still work towards the divine in shadow without the traditional way of being just religious and only learning from a way that you was conditioned to learn without using your free mind to think. What's your connection to the Most High? Capricorn energies. How do you defeat temptation in your life? Defeat the demons in your life, right? When you don't stand absolutely not in your power. How can you defeat the devil if you're not standing in your power? You can't. You have to protect your energy. Protect yourself. Cleanse and purify. Don't disrupt your peace with people. Walk in your true, authentic self. So you have a group of people over here that went against a Queen of Swords energy. Air energy, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. But she was... The signs don't matter. I just give it when it's on the table sometimes because people like to hear that stuff. But at the end of the day... Off with her hands, the queen got a sword too. She's standing in her queendom. She have authority to run kingdoms too. And at the end of the day, her sword is not there just as an accessory or an attachment. She has the authority to utilize and wield this because she has the power, the strength, and the knowledge to put it in the right way. That's what the highest, greatest good of the all. So for those people who's not investing into divinity, when the Queen of Swords came through with her truth because they was too busy laughing at her or him, looking at the divine masculine like, oh, that's all you always talk about, that spiritual shit. Yo, get out of here with that, man. Don't invite that nigga. He corny, yo. Yo, call Shorty. You see, she can bring some homies over and da-da-da-da, right? Get those corny people out of here. Even though you sitting there, you might smoke your good, but you ain't drinking with them. But you just chilling, you politicking. You bringing positivity into an imbalanced, fully dark circle. This community of destruction didn't want to hear the message, didn't want to see the message through you. They didn't care about nothing. They didn't care about new opportunities in life, right? They wasn't thinking about going getting that paper through divinity until you decided to do that, right? You stepped up. You're not even doing it for the money. You doing it because of what God put in you. Then they try to knock you down, knock you out the way, front like that was you. Them, they walking with masks, trying to act like and speak like and be like you because you was in the clique. So they trying to take your spiritual energy. Oh, everybody's now, oh, peace and blessings. They wasn't worrying about that before. Oh, we fake positive energy, but the second we get drunk, our true demons come out. These sleep people thought they was going to steal your essence to go get some money. Say, wow, that's dope. I appreciate it and I like it. But I'll shut the collective down so they don't do it, right? Michael Jackson, R.I.P., sitting over here. Should have changed it, right? They didn't want him to have his royalties. They didn't want him to have his masters. They didn't want him to walk in his full power. They defamed him, say he did things he didn't. When he was a protector of children, they said he was an abuser of children. Everybody got their opinion on that. I know where mine stand. R.I.P. Mr. Jackson, right? It's time to make that change. R.I.P. Angie Stone for once in my life. They should have changed their mentality about that. They denying a true relationship with the Creator with the abundance of angelic protection because they wanted to come against you. Then they wanted to front. Check the lake. Not your fault. Should have changed it. So they want to front and do certain type of rituals, even with marine spirits trying to call the deceased to make them look like they're ethereal and they're still in divine knowledge and energy, doing rituals and things like that, realizing that you wasn't doing it for the money. Money come and go. Holy Spirit is an instant supply. You don't have to ask for nothing and really want for nothing unless you actually ask for it and want for it. But, you know, Spirit going to provide like that. The birds don't have to figure it out because it's in the design already. They know what to do, kind of. When you know, you know. I'm not going to have a video on that. We'll be here right now. We'll be here a lot longer. I'm just trying to get these cards off the table with this energy check. Right? So there's a group of people that didn't trust in your faith in the divine, but they wanted to use that same faith that you maybe somebody named Harry, that same faith that you carried and that energy that you embodied and then front. Like in my situation, when they recorded my voice and my likeness, even the energy that I don't present, my doppelganger and my weird neighbors could just take that information and try to wrap it up in a bow and sell it to somebody else to pass off as their intellectual property and not mine. So never tell me anything and plagiarize me. But at the end of the day, if I stop creating the content and give it in pockets, they won't be able to show up like me because they won't have me supplying them. I'm not their battery. They have to get their own content. They have to get their own information from the divine. You don't have to sit there and tell them nothing. You starve the knocks and you keep your business to yourself while you on hermit. But you got a hater out here, a copycat, an immature, mature woman, an older woman that's a big kid in her mind, like a big in public school bully, want to be a socialite, but she don't get messages. So sneakily, she tried to act like she was an empath, like she was a clear, like she had the gift. They took all of Michael Jackson's gifts and denied him what was his, but when he was deceased, they started putting all his information out. You know, the things he wouldn't let them rock, certain songs and commercials and jingles and certain things. It's untied now. He's more valuable to them gone than here. With him gone, they could collect on that insurance policy they have for the millions and millions of dollars because he was a star, right? Get paid off his organs, give a little cut to the family type energy. Yeah, somebody on their path. Whew. Somebody is on a path. A path, not getting a message. Don't work. Now they got a message of concern, right? She over here trying to steal your thoughts and your ideas, even through astral projecting traveling. And she can't even utilize that gift to come in to your energy anymore because you protected yourself properly and you shut them out, rightfully so. So she getting a message of concern that whatever work she been trying to put on you to get you stuck so she could continue to steal and siphon from you, or he could continue to steal and siphon from you. Energy is energy, right? Confirmation. It didn't work. Now everybody realizing that this person is a fake. Thought they wasn't going to be in despair about this. Oh, didn't think they was going to be in despair over the courthouse about this innocent person that was wealthy, that they stole from, that's not in prison anymore. So when you came out of hermit and stood in your true divinity, your true authority, as the Queen of Swords that you are, speaking your truth, these people could no longer act like they was you, right? You not in despair. You ain't got no legal issues. You innocent. You wealthy. And you not in prison. And this fake person, whatever root work she tried to do with her practitioning self or a practitioner did not work. And she's getting a message of concern now that she ain't getting no messages on this path. She been blocked out. They can't unalive you to steal your gifts so they can stand in the background and feed off of you for another century or 3. Wicked witch of the west. Wicked witch of the east. This community of destruction sitting back waiting for the mama bird perched up over you so she could come and feed them to the little tidbits. Here, you go take this talent and you sing this way and you rhyme this song that way and then you just act like it's yours. Pay me money. Pay me money. No, you ain't bringing nothing back now. We see who the originator is. Right? We see who made them songs with Paul McCartney. Right, Mike? We see why the Beatles didn't want to give it up, but you barely won that shit. You have to fight for that. You got to fight for yours. A message about this fake two-faced person, maybe somebody you knew try to act like they was your friend, and a healer standing in your face, stealing your essence. This fake person who does not want to go to jail, but instead wants to be held in high honor, is not going to work. No, this wealthy man, this official, this wealthy man, this true person of high honor, see what this woman has done. And they not concerned about no high honor shit with her. It's not going to work. She can't get away with it. So in the distant horizons, for this wealthy man, he got his eyes set on this privileged woman. Even if this privileged woman don't have the pockets to match up to what her authority is, her place is, her placement in life, her royalty is. She not supposed to be living like a peasant when she all from the royal lineage. But these peasants out here stealing it, trying to act like they royals, and it's not theirs. And this other royal energy that's a wealthy person who recognizes how people move and how it is, whether a person says curse words or not, whether they live in the hood or not. Energy is energy. And he know that this thief has taken something from the collective. The collective don't need to have a great fortune to stand up in the privilege that they are and exude the wealth that they embody. So it didn't matter how much the money was. It didn't matter if they accumulated sudden wealth. These people still get unexpected income because the universe always provides. And that's what's showing. This person is in good health. This person ain't got no problem with adjudication. This person might be in poverty, but they not out here giving messages of destruction. This person is not in despair. They might not be married. They might be divorced. They might not be in no contract because they not going to be in love with no hater. So they release everybody that don't serve them no more. This person is in their purpose, on their path, and that's just period. The gifts exude for themselves. In poverty with the little minimum, writing on the postcards. Somebody named Shay gonna need a lawyer. Just writing on postcards. Rose, Cusip, check your financials. Wellness check time. Right? You might not have had all the funds and resources that you thought you were capable of, but it didn't stop you from standing in your true, authentic self against these community of destroyers. Your gifts exude. exude and speak for themselves, blowing all these people up because they shouldn't have been in your energy, stealing your shit. Holy Divine coming through you, exposing all these demons. And they can't take a journey towards your gift because the gift is you. You are the asset. You are the brand. You branded yourself. Wherever you go, you're going to make money because that's just who you are. They don't got no receipts to say anything else. They would rather call you anything but a child of God. But you healthy, your mind straight, you clear, and it speaks for yourself. You are the main character in your own life. And these people thought that they was going to lie and scoff at you and belittle your gifts and say that you wasn't connected to the divine. And they had all this materialistic, shiny things to show for it, like T.D. Jakes. And what's his name? Kurt Franklin. Who else? Marvin, what's Winans, right? They got all the material that they take people in communities who should be getting healed so they could tap into the divinity, but they destroying them, destroying that woman's reputation because he wanted her to give a $2,000 tithe and she gave $1,200, so he embarrassed her because she didn't pay for God. These people doing it for the wrong reason. That's why you so rich. You the main female, you stand up straight in your own story. With or without the money, you still exude wealth, health, society. What is that with the A? Aristocratic society. Right. It's your house. It's your temple. It's how you carry your house. It's how you keep yourself, how you keep your house. In this community are these immature masculines who feel emasculated because you are one-woman band or one-woman warrior. You're like, you battling all these misogynistic, feminine, toxic, masculine energies, right? The women are just as bad as the men. And you over here standing on your own against this entire community of people who supports toxic men who think that they supposed to make the money and the woman ain't supposed to be nothing, and then you shut them down without anything. You stood up when they took everything from you, right? Because they're a bunch of fucking thieves. But your light still shines, and they no longer have a courtship with you. And they not going in the bank, and they not going at the show with the Apollo to be judged. These motherfuckers going in front of the Most High, right? They don't even deserve any acknowledgement. What's going to change? Oh, the message, it didn't work. Whatever they hired, the root working practitioner, crazy cum laude witch bitch who in her kitchen stirring up formulas that no longer work, it didn't work. So what they expecting for this innocent child to die? Nah. She not in a family that's going to die. Confirmation, they're in the family that's gonna die, who was waiting for this practitioner bitch to try to kill this innocent woman because she was not her, right? She did not have her talents and gifts. She act like she wasn't in poverty. If you in the projects and you live in the apartment above, then you think a person in the projects is impoverished. How are you so great if you in the same spot? And then why are you fighting to be the head of the projects, fighting for your limitations? You don't own the buildings. Teaching these people how to be self-sustainable so they could get out the other way and people who need the services could kind of step in and utilize them, not grow old and then pass it to your children. Teach your children how to get their own so they could create jobs and things in society, right? Not stuck worrying about a beat system because you don't work. Knowing how to become the asset in any environment. You think Michael Jackson wouldn't have had no work? Wherever he go, he's the talent. How you gonna be somebody that, okay, not for nothing, but they pay me to public speak. If you didn't go to the Toastmasters program and you didn't take the certification, the the certification courses, and you didn't do the time in the college, and you didn't do the 10,000 hours in these streets, and you didn't acquire the lingo, how do you think anybody gonna come and pay you to public speak for them if you don't have the talent? It's not your talent. You can't siphon and steal that. You can't go in them astral projecting them dreams. Since last summer, over a year, been trying to steal your identity at the least. Let's not talk about what they've been doing for such a long time. All right? Let's talk about here recently. In this last year, so off they path. Can't get no messages. That's the path they on, but it flew over there. Like such. If I pull it out straight, they're off their path. This is not their path. She should have focused on, or he should have focused on his own talents instead of being a weird neighbor gang stalker. No message of imprisonment. So, they don't want to get a message that they're going to go to jail and they're getting a divorce, that they're losing all their connections. This person is hurting. There's some man thinking about a woman, or somebody in masculine energy thinking about this feminine energy. He don't want to be married to her, and he don't want to go to jail because of her. And he know the pathway is coming towards him. He just didn't receive the message yet. He want his bad health to turn to good health. So he want to get a divorce from this woman for all the injustices. But she don't want to stand in front of adjudication and give him his divorce. She don't want to sign those papers. She want rather him go down. There's a man in, I think it's Long Island. They just arrested him. They found his wife deceased in the house. When they did a wellness check for her and the children moved away from him because they were scared of him, and they went somewhere. And, she tried to divorce him, so he started stalking her after he received the divorce papers. He didn't want to sign the papers for no divorce. Maybe he wanted to try to turn it back around, thinking it's in good health, but it was a situation in bad health, and he didn't want to receive that message on his pathway. He didn't think he was going to go to jail for the things that he did to this woman, because he didn't want to give her a divorce. He didn't think he was going to get caught. But they found her with a bag over, suffocated, and chemicals in the bag that burnt her. So I think they said it was like cyanide or something, right? Toxic masculine men, mad because they can't control a woman. The woman's scared for her life, for her children. She try to lead to safety. She telling everybody something's off and this man trying to hurt me, but he still lay hands on her. That's why you got to protect yourself and not trust these dudes. I would rather stand in my divinity all day, every day, than to sit here and trying to make peace with no two-faced ass dudes that's playing with this destructive ass community, who's sitting here trying to tell all my divine secrets to them so these people could hurt me. So this cum laude bitch could be like me, copycat me. Some broad he laying with, he want to put her up because they was friends longer than he was friends with me. So he want to make her look better than me because he couldn't be me. I don't want to be around those kind of dudes. Totally innocent. A child. Childlike innocence is about to change. Somebody's innocence has changed. They thought they wasn't going to prison. They want to look innocent, but they know they was behind the scenes creating a problem, because people couldn't have known certain shit about you if they wasn't out there talking shit. Change. And now the officials, this person is officially a fake person, but the officials is acknowledging this person as a fake too, as an accomplice. So if he or she think he not going to jail, and they was just going to allow you the asset so they could big up their stagnated careers, right? Want to get back their heyday instead of just working on their confirmation, authentic talent, and just walking in that light. Now the officials see he going down too, because the ancestors don't appreciate, first of all, First of all, he tried to disrespect your ancestors, whether in your face or behind your back, he or she. You know, fuck your ancestors. They were stupid. A half-breed, half of one culture and half of another culture, and the same culture that he's insulting is the same ancestors that's his. He's sitting in the face of the earth angel empath that was sent in to help bring him out the hellhole. But because he didn't want to grow up yet, he went against her last summer and thought this summer that it was going to all be over, but still witnessing his life falling apart and your life is still in peace while they trying to figure it out. How come this person of so much divinity brought so much destruction to this community? Because they didn't invest in the empath. Absolutely not. Because they were on demon time and being two-faced, not being divine team players, acting like they were healers when they were behind the scenes being chaotic in that empath's life, trying to steal her power for his group, for his occult, for his gang, for his peoples, for his boys, for his homies, to try to siphon divine feminine energy because they don't know their own identity. Fuck out of here. And now they feeling away. They thought it was going to be sweet, right? Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'm not being heartless. It's not even like that. This person don't want to die. And this person don't want their great fortune to die. But the work they did against you killed any chances they had of survival. Because you was their ticket out. Right? You would have provided for them until they got it together. Every now and then, right? You had his back. You had her back. You ain't even have it like that, but when you had a little something, you held them down. Or if you asked them to help fix something, you didn't just say, oh, I'm going to just take it for free. We not going to bust uglies for this, but I'll hit you up a little something, right? Something they would never do for you while they was sitting around drinking and smoking and laughing and popping pills, trying to talk down on you like you wasn't shit. Now this person over here saying, I'm not the divine team player. I thought I knew God, everything God. No. You was fake fronting like you religious, but you really was protecting the devils within you, not acknowledging that you had to open your mind up and unseed the bad seed so you could start a new garden. You didn't want to show who you truly was because you were empath, but you were dark empath. So you was doing your dark empathic demonic things to steal feminine energy so you can have their power while you sit down and put down the whole feminine collective to a community of dark other people while they try to sit here and bedfellow and business with and lay with and be in the people's faces of divine energies so that they can act like they divine. While they be two-faced friends, lovers, family members, co-workers, and then put you down so you could die and they could take your great fortune. And now this community of misogynistic, toxic-ass, destructive, feminine and masculine energy don't want their fortunes to die. And let alone they don't want to die. Because they know they worth more dead than they are alive. For the simple fact, they all putting insurance policies on one another for all the dumb shit they doing. There's no way you going to sit there and try to make fake policies on anybody and think people ain't really going to put one on you too, if that's what y'all do. So they got to start looking at each other and fighting amongst each other like, yo, can I really trust this person to have my back? Spirit guided you here to mystically Miko to help initiate the spiritual awakening in you, right? There are no coincidences. Nothing is by chance. They didn't want to listen to me, collective. He didn't want to listen. She didn't want to listen to you, collective. They didn't want to listen. But you was the truth, and you was the meal ticket out on so many levels, but it had to be authentic spirituality, not fake spiritual, and then go be two-faced. Slick, the nice pimp, trying to be slick, but really he out here pimping these hoes. Confirmation. He's slick. In your face acting like he a nice dude. Oh, I'm ready for a real woman now. But behind your back, he acting like he the pimp, pimping all the hoes. And don't want his truth to come out. I've been seen and loved by the Most High. And then tooted his black ass up to God and said, kiss his entire ass and don't miss the balls while I sit here and play in these people's face while I talk down on your anointed child when I know that she's anointed. You literally told them that you was in unicorn energy and they said, yeah, I know. And still did it anyway, laughed at you, and then try to mock God, and then stand in the face like he God, she goddess. Friday, September 19th, 2025. Downloads. This was a little more than a month ago. New energy been on the table, right? The puzzle pieces, though the similar brand, are now different. Excuse me. The puzzle pieces, though they are similar, right? They're different. Some elements may look the same, but the energy must be different. Trying to front like they was a divine team player while they smiled in your face, but behind your back and they party like they wasn't doing nothing but demon time, doing demon shit and them sex rituals and them blood ritual sacrifices and the moon ritual parties to unalive you. Practicing their witchcraft because they was a dark empath professional warlock who hid it under the vice of, and my ear is ringing, yeah. My right ear hit it on the head, acting like he a nice guy. Your discernment will never let you down. It's impossible. The problem would be if you do not act upon it when beckoned. So he was warned by the universe. He's an empath. He was warned by his ancestors. He was warned by his elders. But he believed the lie about you that his community of misogynistic homies perpetuated because they couldn't bust you open and crack your shell, but you was soft and let him get straight to the gooey part. So he thought he had it all in the bag while he sat around and played and got initiated into this gang that he could come back, chill with you, and then be the battery feeder, the new supply. You would never know that he a fake pimp because he smiled in your face like he a regular dude, a regular Joe. And they answered, and he didn't answer, and they kept calling. GodGoddess been knocking. Spirit been showing him. He been feeling it in his gut. But he was so not knowing his identity, imposter syndrome, or she was, that they allowed the devil to take over. They gave it to temptation. They gave it up to chaos to destroy it. And then still kept the facade of the healer of peace. It's one thing. It's one thing if you're going to be authentic. If you're an asshole, be an asshole. But don't act like a nice guy to get nice people and then be an asshole behind their back while you keep baiting them in so you can suck them dry, their energy. There's only 2 people that came around me that I got cotton mouth. And one of them was him, the Gemini person. Whenever he came out, I was like, damn, why my mouth getting so dry like this? And the only other time is with my weird neighbor, her. And it's what I realize is whenever she's actively throwing spell work at me, she's actively throwing witchcraft at me, one of the signals I get is my mouth get dry. Especially if I'm talking or doing a reading or something, because it happened when I started doing readings in the room again. Because for a while, I wouldn't even sleep in that room. But as soon as I started doing the work, my mouth started getting that feeling. I was like, oh, that's what that is. So I prayed it away. When she burnt me that I have on tape, my proof that they thought I wasn't going to get. Right? Before that happened, my mouth started getting dry. So it was only 2 times. They charge themselves up with that negative energy, and then they come around you with all those succubuses and incubuses and try to attach them to you while they throwing it at you. Does your body make you get a stomach ache? Does your body give you a headache? Do your ears ring? Do your ears feel clogged? Do you get butterflies? Do you smell shit? Do you smell roses? I mean, the universe give you signals and synchronicities, but you the one that got to answer the call. And never complain if you don't. You couldn't be hot shit and then sober up like, damn, I'm a real asshole. And then the same sentence, get dressed and go back to the homies and do the same thing. You can't complain for what you got if you a two-faced hater. Right? Live your life, do better, make better choices. That's all you had to do. Not walk both sides of the coin and then really you play in the middle. I'll jump over here when it worked for me today, and I'll jump over here when it works for me tomorrow. When it comes between God, GodGoddess Source Energy, and the devil, you cannot serve 2 masters. You got to pick a side. Ancestors tried to call him. He'd rather be a fallen empath for some hoe and some dudes that's acting like hoes. Okay. Live your life, do better, and make better choices. Nobody cares. Get over it. It happened yesterday. Do better today. Don't get up and do the same shit and then complain that it ain't working. Don't complain for what you get if you let somebody else drive your life for you. Right? The addictions driving that life, the lack of money, the lack mentality, the saying I saw my dream person and they wasn't good enough for me how they looked, but I never thought as a person that I would attract someone who was really my counterpart, because they never knew who they self was. They rather, like a bully. It's nice. It's better to make fun of people than for people to make fun of them, is what I felt. How many times must you fail to win? Why be with your opposite when you can be with your similar? Right? Always argumentative and always want to debate instead of just chilling and shutting the fuck up and relaxing. Right? He and I never even had an argument at a point. Nobody knew we was rocking. At least I thought. I was being quiet because we knew the same people. So when we was in room with everybody, we didn't talk about certain shit. Period. But at the end of the day, one of them days in front of everybody, I forget how it came up, but he definitely turned around to me and said, yeah, she already getting on my nerves. You get on my nerves. Something about getting on his nerves. And I'm looking at this man like he crazy, because he already talking to me like somebody I got rid of a long time ago. How are we getting on anyone? He not getting on my nerves, so I thought. And I'm not getting on his nerves because he told me all interactions with me was positive. So how come when he got in front of everybody else, he tried to say I was getting on his nerves? He was actually trying to destiny swap with me, doing rituals and crafting me right in my face. But at the end of the day, he didn't know how much alike we was, because he was so busy copying a little bit of this and a little bit of that. He lost himself. If you don't like somebody that shares your own values or are similar to you, does that mean you think yourself is boring? Oh, I don't like that square. They talk about spirituality too much. That's whack. But in the meantime, you're talking about God just on a different level. But you say cusses, they say cuss words, you drink sociably, they drink every day. I don't know. You decided you don't want to drink anymore. They could continue to drink. But they said like you was corny, you was lame, your body wasn't what they expected. Either you was too fat or not fat enough. Right? They laugh at the dysfunctions. Like with mine, they teased my tooth. I know they talked about my tooth behind my back, but I had to go through it my own way. Right? If you couldn't say it in my face, why would you make jokes about it like that behind my back? Because if you could say it in my face and I could laugh the same way, other than that, you being a bully and you being mean. Just two-faced. So you really just didn't want me to be around so I could be the butt of jokes so they could feel good about their self-clout chasing. You heard about the divine person. Like, nah, chill. They just didn't want to see the mirror of their self when they wasn't doing anything. Because they like the quiet time because they could think, right? Right. So how do you perceive them to be? That you got to have the opposite attract because it excites you. What about you is so unexciting, unassuming? I don't know. What do you need? It's a stop work order today, though. Take a time out to ponder this. You keep looking for, good girls like bad boys and all this other crap, and then you get the bad boy and he's a total asshole, and then you stuck with a piece of shit. You can't complain for what you get. 5 of Wands, conflict, fights, confusion. That's what you're going to get dealing with a bad boy who's unhealed, who don't want to heal, who's two-faced in you, right? Wow. Just expose this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. And that's the problem with that air energy, that King of Swords in reverse, who abused his authority and act like you wasn't his counterpart, even on a friendship level. He didn't even care about the friendship, guys. 20 years of, wow, I remember when I first met you. You was in a relationship, but, you have those little, a crush. Like, oh, I would have liked that person. Because your person was in the street humping everybody else. But even though I was with a complete community, ding, ding, I didn't respect that dude and talk to his homie. I wasn't like those people. But I always had a special place in my heart for this person. He was cool, and then we was just friends. And you never know in them situations when you respect each other's circumstance, and then later in the future, if that circumstance didn't work and their circumstance didn't work, maybe y'all could get together and something could work out good. Confirmation. I didn't think that he was still talking to the ex and talking to the homies on the block and seeing how he could destroy me. All I see is 10-10. To see how he could destroy me as opposed to just acknowledging it's time to grow up. You well over 45. Is this really how you see you living the rest of your life? Expose the King of Swords in reverse as a Page of Swords in reverse. A big man baby who wasn't ready to grow up. Okay, don't. And is a warlock. Conflicted because he's a warlock. So he only worked good with them reckless females, and he didn't want to face himself. And he didn't want nobody to get the message that that's what he do with his free time. But he wanted to sit here and lie on you. She wanted to lie on you. Confirmation and expose all your laundry. Richard Bay Maury Povich out this bitch to the point they were making stuff up. But then they don't want their truth to get out. I'll never get that about them narcs. I'm not mentally unstable, but they batshit crazy. That's that bipolar stuff when you don't get it diagnosed potentially. Not ascending because he is stuck with a third party or she is stuck with a third party situation. So they third party can't ascend. They did some stuff against you and your new divine counterpart that got themselves landed in prison, or they about to go to prison for abusing their authority. They never loved themselves. They never really loved you. 3 of Pentacles. They would sell you out to, trust and believe, they would be happy to sell you out to the highest bidder. Anybody who was coming to send you off your path. And that's what your old buddy, old pal, old friend had for you. Because you loved it at them. They wanted you to be an ice queen in reverse, reckless with your mouth, right? They wanted you to be trapped in your mind, cursing them out. You know you want some bullshit. Say, no, I've been seen and loved by the Most High, and I recognize that you is a slick pimp. And I'm not going to sit here and waste my life with it. And you have a happy life. That person losing hope. It's impossible to be confirmation. That person is, oh wow, is wholeheartedly losing hope. Wholeheartedly. They hate everyone because they hate themselves. Confirmation. Wow, Holy Spirit. See? Synchronicities. Can't no fake copycat doppelganger bitch fake that. He was with the original and he chose the carbon copy. And then tried to annoy and destroy the original to put the carbon copy on top. Because the original didn't want to lower their vibration and be a piece of shit. Because how you going to be an earth angel if you walking around here like a fucking Jezebel? Make that make sense, stupid. Jeez. Know that they are caught now. Oh, wasn't sure before. Is this my 15 minutes of shame, losing hope? You had your 15 minutes of fame. Now it's 15 minutes of shame. It is impossible to be whole if you're always giving parts of yourself away, especially your phallus and losing life force. It probably is. You bought it on yourself. How long can you stay there like that? Bought it on yourself. That is what happens when they is toxic as fuck. So this toxic as fuck person, Holy Spirit gave them another shot to get it together. Take the ascension bus and get off the bullshit. Done left town, done messed up, came back in town. Y'all had a mirroring life, right? So they picked the person and brought them back into town to throw you off your path. Instead of letting the devil use him and saying, maybe this is my opportunity to say later for it was Holy Spirit. I'm going to take a chance. I'm later for the devil. I'm going to go with Holy Spirit. No. Jeez. Tragedy clears the pipes of new beginning. And we're going to take this as a, maybe they unalive themselves by way of ego. But that's what that says. This person potentially has karma that they can't get away from. So since they didn't want to ascend and amend and accept, they might not have ever been with you, Empath. Because they might have other karma they living from in other lifetimes, other timelines. But that's all over now. They bought it on themselves because they should have never played in your energy, trying to play with your heart to break it so they could do witchcraft spells on you. Because if that's how they did this in the first place, they could make somebody do it to themselves. I was already... I was healing for something I was going through, and though it was too soon, I wanted to feel safe. So I thought I could feel safe with him, and he came around me and made me feel that way. And it took every inch of that, and confirmation exploited me with that, so my local neighborhood people could continue to gang stalk me, instead of him realizing that he was there to help protect me while I was healing through something that was destructive in my life. But he rather do moon rituals and practice seances, spiritual seances, and drinking from the cauldron with his witch and warlock buddies to try to unalive me, because they didn't like my light and they wanted to knock me off my bubble. Wow, off the top of the deck. Guys, I just pulled it off the top of the deck. And when I moved, the deck was looking at me. This man, baby warlock, try to stand up like he was an upright person. But really, this man, baby warlock air sign, was doing magic on you, rituals, like I just said, confirmation. Because his career plummeted and he wanted to get back on top. So he wanted to Dame Dash and Aaliyah you. He wanted you to be his sacrifice. R.I.P. to Aaliyah. We see what happens, right? Wow. Aaliyah passed away, and then next thing you know, Dame Dash was marrying his ex-wife, or back with his ex-wife. So that's how it goes, right? Whitney ain't here. They took her firstborn. You do the rituals. You sign up for that shit. You don't just get away. Mike signed up for it. R.I.P. Michael Jackson. You don't get away from it. But they were actively doing rituals, and then karma hit. Karma don't have to care about emotions. Karma said, I don't give a fuck about emotions. Good or bad karma is karma. Confirmation. Right? Not here to care. Oh, not here to cater to emotions. Period. Now, mind you, my phone ain't been giving that many notifications in I don't know how long. Intuitive character. One more at the top. Divine masculine. Yeah, he jumped off his path. Wow. He was using the facade of divine masculine to hide the fact that he a whole demon up in here, run by the devil, and now crying about the karma he getting. Goodbye, Philip. Them rituals that your immature ass was doing when you didn't think God Holy Spirit would reveal that you are an unstable practitioner warlock. Trying to act like you not unstable, but instead you a nice guy. I'm a mature nice guy, a man of few words. Yeah, that's because they don't want to slip up and provide you with the fact that they full of crap. They know you innocent. Eight of Pentacles. And they was here to get money off of it. They needed their hard work to pay off, to soil you and create you to be unstable while they were getting paid. Because as long as you can lower your vibration, that's just another soul that the devil gets to suck up, right? You too low to resonate high enough to repel all that negative, dense energy to keep doing these moon rituals to send at you. So because I'm so sad, and why nobody loves me, and how could he, da-da-da-da-da, they like, oh yeah. Like I used to hear it, Timmy. It's like 2 months ago I heard these niggas chanting my name, bro. It's a bunch of females chanting my name, trying to do this witchcraft nonsense on me. No matter how much I say I'm a child of the Most High, you shouldn't do that because it's not going to work in your favor. Don't play with black magic because of men like this always lying on the kid, right? Thinking that I was a sucker for love. I was just going to sit back and wait for somebody to abuse me. Shit. Six of Swords. And that I wouldn't be able to leave in reverse. Shit. Ain't nobody no mentally unstable. 10 of Wands. You severed the tie with that fallen twin flame who thought they could cast spells upon you to keep you stuck, and now they have to carry around their own burdens. It don't matter how old he getting and how old he is. It's been illuminated. He got to bear his own cross because he made his own shit, his own bed, and he laying in it. For trying to act like he was a divine masculine when he was a whole devil out here. Doing magic. Doing magic. Immature, but abusing his authority. Looking like a man. Doing childish shit. While under influences practicing rituals on God's children. And now he got to say goodbye. The devil is coming to collect on this one masculine who thought he was going to act divine when he really playing for the devil. Confirmation. And I'm going to leave it at that so I could clean it up and start another reading. For space purposes, 5522. Love you guys. If you found value, absolutely hit that like button. But we just going to keep blowing these people up. I don't take it personal. I forgave him 5533 and moved on. When he stood in my face that first time, we were intimate, and then he came back again. And mind you, this was over a year and a half. This is almost 2 years now, right? Thinking because he's the last person I've been with is because I'm pining over him. No, I forgave the situation. I just prefer to choose wiser. 5555. How can you change anything on the external world if you don't change anything from the internal? So in order to do that, I had to take myself off the market and work on myself. Like, why would I go for that empty feeling? But when he did, like I was saying, he waited to that last, that we was talking one way and he didn't want to deal with those young girls and he wanted to be away. And then took that opportunity to say, oh, I think it's better that we don't even try to go in the direction of a relation. We could just be friends. And I said, all right. And don't think that it didn't make my heart go pop. Say, oh my God, why would he do that to me? Because I would have never even laid with this person in the first place. I would have never gave it a chance. But I kept my poker face and I said, okay, well, if you only want to be friends, I don't sleep with my friends. So it's no way that we're going to be doing that again, but we could be cool. And then the question he asked me next was 5656. He says to me, you not even going to fight for me? Say no. In fact, I'm going to raise my bar. By the time you come back, you're going to have to be better than what you was right now. And that still stood. But I stood strong to my laurels and my morals and my principalities because his mask was slowly but surely slipping off. He wasn't divine. Look, I had it the wrong way. No, he was the devil the whole time. But his mask was slipping off, and every word he said and every moment he had with me was just proving more and more how much of that time he was on. And not to say that earth angels don't have shadows. It's just like, why do we want to stay there so long? We did that already. Time to move on. So they're going to have to learn their lesson the hard way. And prayerfully, they won't do that to nobody else. But Spirit said first, these people going to have to feel that burn or that heartbreak that they try to cause you instability from somebody that they thought they really loved. And that same person was going to be bringing destruction to their community. Right? He didn't think that female thought the female was prettier than me, so she couldn't be hating on me and jealous of me. Confirmation, but she don't even have half the intellect that I have. She can't even braid her own damn hair. Over 40. Confirmation. Stop the madness. So yeah. He didn't want his situation. He didn't want death to enter his great fortune because he'd been getting away with it for years. And it's not like I didn't tell him in his face, are you sure? Because you have to do right by me. Because I don't fuck people over. I'm absolutely walking karma. If you're not going to fuck with me, keep it real and keep it pushing. But don't play in my face and play stupid and try to use me. But he thought he was so smart. Yeah, that's the cat squeezing on top of the microwave. Yeah. He thought he could fit it in and then expose himself anyway. Now that's my cue to get down. Smokey, get down, boo. Get down. See? I don't have to struggle. I got the solution. I didn't even have to squeeze. See what I'm saying? Holy water. Get away from there. I'll clean it up. I got my holy water repellent. So no. One man's trash is another man's treasure. And I damn sure ain't trash. So when people get what they get, you're not supposed to sit around and feel bad for yourself. You forgive it. If you're going to hold that pill, swallow that tough pill, don't take another one. All right? Somebody broke an aspirin in half and shoved it on your tongue and made you not unable to swallow. And then sitting around crying for they didn't realize. Of course they knew. They just never thought they would get caught. Because it was funny until life catch up. Because there's only been so many years you could drink a certain way, take pills a certain way, have sex a certain way, and be reckless with it in a social setting a certain way publicly, and it not catch up to you and bite you in the ass. Especially when you shitting over on good people. I also told him to be a free thinker. You see how far that went. But I'm not here to knock him. I just had to learn to be a free thinker of my own. I had to learn how to forgive people and love them from a distance. And just be ready to pivot on a drop of a dime, because you just never know. You can know a person for 30 freaking years and still never know them. So don't try to force anything. If it ain't for you, don't force it. A South Node is always going to be a hater, period. They don't got no love because they have to find love within themselves first. And every time they get a chance to love, they just pour it out. They would rather destroy it so it can't destroy them. So they're going to unalive all their relations so they don't have to be responsible. I don't know. It's a freaky way of thinking. But some people do it. Yeah. They didn't want the fact that they were dealing with unsurmountable burdens for dealing with this reckless Queen of Wands in reverse to be seen. And now the whole world see it on a social level. Because they was going in group chats and shit and talking all that shit about you. But when the tables turn, it's them same group chats that they all went back in and was talking about this person. Because they was using your counterpart to siphon for energy anyway, because they didn't want him to give it to you. And because they didn't give it to you, they knew as long as he stuck around them that he was going to give it to them. As long as we keep him away from divine feminine, who's a minimalist, and will help him invest his money into the right things and become a better version, and help him dig back into his creativity so he could take off in his career, we gonna make sure we keep him stuck, high, and drunk, and on pills, and over hypersexualized, so that he can't focus on anything, and he keep expelling his life force by way of ejaculation and confusion of sexual preferences and things like that. And then blackmailing them with things that they tell when they're inebriated. Even if they don't say it, it's implied. The shame. The shame of I hope nobody get the secret of what we did in that threesome last night. Or in that group sex we had for this moon ritual. Right? That's why she is people's. That's me patting my chest. That's my boy. That's my girl. That's my homie. Ain't nobody gonna tear me apart from her. And he done ruined his whole damn life fucking with this scallywag Jezebel as being a Leviathan spirit, thinking he was marriage material. And he ain't even married himself yet. To know how to treat anyone, you gotta know how to treat yourself. You gotta know what you like in order to know what you can offer to anybody. And when you know what you bringing, you ain't gonna let nobody give you less, and you're not gonna take less. That's all you have to do. He had one job, man, one job, one assignment. And the only person he let down was himself. Because it's a personal journey when you standing in front of a South Node and divine masculine who's the devil. Now I gotta go stand in Anubis after he helped people have a petition against you to call Anubis to try to have you have an early departure on your life purpose ascension journey while you working for the Most High Creator. Now make that make sense. I'm gonna clean up. Love you guys. Happy Saturday. I'll hit you up with another video in a few minutes. Talk to you soon. Enjoy a wonderful, prosperous, abundant day. And thank you for your energetic contributions. I love you so much. So does Holy Spirit. So does my ancestors. Holy Spirit said, "Bing bong." It's all love. Catch up with you in the next video. Peace.